with is how to move on from a previous relationship, heal, and be able to recognize that new love that may come along in your life.
And a lot of our followers have asked us about this topic, and people who know us in the space, they know this is one of the topics that we teach on how to move on, how to find new love. So Tasha, there's some things that we're going to hit on specifically. And the first one is that I think is that when you're coming out of a relationship, you got to take your time, man. You got to take time to just breathe.
Absolutely. Coming out of a relationship, you have to take time for yourself because it's a lot. So you definitely have to just, step away and kind of take time to yourself.
Take time to breathe. Because, lots of times, Tasha, when you're in a relationship, you don't get time to spend, you don't have time to spend with your family. Sometimes you can't spend time with your friends because you're so caught up with that person.
Right.
Now, whether you do that of your own free will or whether that person is isolating you, which means they're keeping you from your friends and family, then,
which is a red flag.
Which is a red flag, and that's abusive. And y'all know, I told y'all this before. I've worked for years as a social worker with the military, with the VA, and I've worked in the areas of spouse abuse and child abuse. So when I talk about relationships, I'm talking about it not only from my own experience,
right,
but from my experience as a therapist. So, we're bringing y'all the gems from the professional world and
real life.
It's real life.
Personal experiences.
Yeah. And have you ever had that? Have you ever been in a relationship where somebody's kind of just got you locked in? You can't even go hang out with your friends. You can't go see your family. Have you ever been in that situation, Tasha?
Absolutely. But the funny thing is when you're in it, you don't see it. Yeah. You don't know that you're being isolated or controlled. You don't see it because you're in love.
And lots of times you think that, hey, this person loves me so much, they just want to spend all this time with me.
Exactly.
And we don't even have time to see family or friends, but that's not even a problem because we got each other.
Exactly.
But where are the red flags, y'all?
Yeah.
If they got you in the house and don't want you to drive, want to go everywhere with you, everywhere you go and they got to go. I mean, if that's what you want, but if you feel like you're getting suffocated and you are being kept from your friends and family, then that's the red flag.
Yeah. I mean, that's also a trait that you have to be just mindful in individuals because sometimes it could be borderline narcissistic. So, just kind of keep that in mind on what level that goes to. Because sometimes, it's all in love and it's really nothing more to it. They just really like spending time with that person. And then other times it's, a little bit more control, abusive, type of situation. So just look out for the signs and those flags. Definitely.
And the next thing, y'all, when you're coming out of a relationship, before you jump into one, even if you came out of a relationship that you felt was good, but maybe y'all just stopped growing together, maybe you just grew apart or something like that, even if you came out of a relationship that you felt was good, still, the next thing is to take time to talk to somebody about it. Take time to talk about what you went through, maybe the things that were really emotionally draining for you. Take time to work through that and to talk about it.
Right. And that can be with, a friend or a family member or even a professional. I know in the African-American community, it has been, taboo to seek out professional help, but it helps to have that neutral party there to kind of, help you through that situation with whatever that is when it comes to that relationship. So definitely, talk to somebody,
I know, a long time ago in the other life when I was married, I came out of a physically abusive relationship. And I didn't go see a counselor. I didn't go see a therapist. And at the time, I didn't really feel like I could talk to anybody about it. So I kind of just jumped out of the relationship and after a while started dating again. But because it was a physically abusive, emotionally abusive relationship, when I started dating again, I started seeing like being triggered. I started being triggered. Like if I had an argument with the person or something like that, I was thinking, oh, this is going to explode into violence. So even though the new person was not violent and was a totally different person, I still was getting triggered and thinking that violence was going to come. And so, that relationship, that didn't go well.
Yeah. And again, that goes back to because you didn't take time to heal.
Yeah.
You didn't take time to yourself to spend time with Seymone and kind of, get back to Seymone. You just kind of, moved along and jumped into, another situation. And so you found yourself looking at that person
looking
sideways,
at that person,
thinking that, like, it could get physical even when y'all just had an argument.
Yeah, it's almost like you think it's the same person and it's not. And that brings us to that next point, familiarity. Right, Tasha?
That's a good
what
one.
I'm talking about?
Yes.
Like, it's kind of like you meet a new person, right? You meet a new person and you think there's chemistry there, right?
You think you're vibing with the person.
You think you're vibing with that person. You're like, this person is the one because
this is it.
We got instant chemistry.
Right.
Right, Tosh? We think this person is the one because the chemistry is instant. Everything is lovely. And the reality is perhaps what you're recognizing in this new person is the same trait that was in the ex. It's the same trait that the person you ran from. Even if it was their good trait, it's the same trait. And it actually might have been their bad trait.
Right. That's their toxic trait.
The toxic trait.
And so to speak to that, Seymone, what happens is we wind up dating that same person, but in a different body. Like this is somebody new.
Yeah.
But it's the same person that you were just dating, but they just in a different body because they have those same toxic traits. And I feel like if we don't seek like professional help and we don't allow ourselves to heal, we'll keep dating the same individuals over and over again.
And over again. And then the thing is that, women meet a new person. Maybe men do it too, but lots of times we're speaking to the women. So we meet somebody new and we think this is wonderful.
Right.
But it's like it's the same energy, y'all. Y'all know everything is energy.
Absolutely.
Like there's a certain energy that comes off of me. There's a certain energy that Tasha has. And everything is energy. And so you might be meeting that person that has the similar energy to the person you just got away from or the person who just left you and broke your heart. You might be meeting the new person has that same energy.
Absolutely.
That's why we encourage you is like to take your time. Take your time to get that person's energy off of you.
Right. And then I think that when you take time too, it allows you to be able to recognize some of those same traits that you that previous person had that you feel like, oh, I'm so attracted to them. If you give yourself time to heal, going into that new relationship, if it is something toxic, you'll be able to recognize like, wait a minute, this is that same, but in a different way or, something like that, but it's that same thing. But until you take a step back and kind of spend time with yourself, you're probably not going to be able to see it in another individual.
Right. And that's why lots of times you see a woman who is attracting somebody who's abusive all the time.
Yeah.
All her partners have this abusive trait, or all her partners have this trait where, maybe they're freeloading,
right.
Just different traits like that.
Right.
And you're thinking, why am I attracting this same type of thing? Why are all my partners abusive?
Right.
Because you didn't take time to breathe, time to know yourself, time to talk to that person, friend, family, therapist.
Right.
Time to figure out what is it that you really want, and time to open up your eyes so that you could see when that same energy, when that same familiarity that is not good for you is coming towards you.
Right. Because sometimes we don't really know ourselves yet or in that moment. And so that's where that healing process comes in, because sometimes we do have to spend time with ourselves to know like why we keep attracting these type of, individuals into our space. And it could be, self-esteem or, something, tied to your childhood. So many different things why you could attract, that wrong person in your life. And you only see that when you spend time with yourself, trying to evaluate, the different situations you've been in with, in the different relationships.
Right. And then what about Tasha now? We get to the point where the person takes time to breathe.
Okay.
They spending time with family and friends again. They kind of feel like they're back to their self, or even better than their old self. They talk to a therapist, or they talk to a counselor, family member, something.
Okay.
They're able to work through some issues. They can recognize now that, this is not the type of person I want in my life. So they're not attracted.
So they've done the work, sounds like.
They've done the work.
Okay.
They have done the work. They've been meditating and praying and everything. They
Good.
did the work.
Good.
Okay. So now the next step is that they might meet somebody, right?
Okay.
They meet somebody. It seems like a good person. It seems like the right person. What should they do now? What are the questions maybe they should ask themselves?
So I believe that they should, see if that individual has done the work as well.
Yes.
Because what you don't want to do is spend time with yourself, get yourself in a good space, heal, and all the things, and then you bring on a person that has not done the work. And don't get me wrong, nobody's perfect, you guys. So that's not what I'm saying, but they make sure if the person has done some work on themselves.
Yeah.
And you can see that.
Yeah.
That's important.
Because sometimes, you meet that person and you're ready.
Right.
And the person has not done the work. So now you back at square one.
Right.
You back at square one, scratching your head like, why isn't this person responding this way or that way? Because they haven't worked on themselves. They haven't matured enough in relationships.
Absolutely. And then right, absolutely we were. And then we tend to settle. And then we repeat the cycle all over again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I believe that, men and women should be treated like the kings and queens that they are.
Yes.
Especially when it, comes in a relationship. And so I do feel like, what you give out, you should get back. Did I say that right, guys?
Yeah. That,
reciprocity, exactly.
Somebody who matches your energy, again,
absolutely,
energy, and you want somebody that matches that. Now you meet somebody, you think they should stay in the friend zone for a while?
I do. Being friends initially is healthy because I do feel like you get to see all sides of that individual. Because a lot of times, you guys, we're just gonna be real. When you meet a person, they send a representative. Hello, somebody. Hello,
the representative.
And so, that's who you like. Oh my goodness, I'm so into the person because they sent their representative. But the more you spend time with that individual, you start seeing the different quirks, and the different things that you may or may not like. So the friend zone is good because you can actually see if you guys are vibing for real or you just vibing with the representative they sent.
Okay, now look, on the other hand, I was in a Facebook group, right? And I saw one lady posted that she met someone and the person that she met had her in the friend zone and telling her, they didn't even kiss or anything for months. So if a person has you in the friend zone for months.
Well, and here's what I'll say to that, Seymone. When we meet people, and you conversating, I do feel like you should be friends first, maybe go on some dates. But you still at some point need to have that conversation on what you're looking for and be honest. So if you're just looking for a friend, a cut buddy,
don't waste anybody's time.
Just some fun, or even if you're looking just for like a travel buddy and not necessarily like a love type of relationship.
That's a good one.
And you just want like a companion to travel with, like like a home girl or a home boy. You really have to be honest with yourself and that person, because what happens is another reason why we get caught up is because we send mixed signals. So it's like you as an individual need to know exactly what you want and make sure that the person is on the same page.
Tasha's on fire tonight. So The mixed signals and the representative. And what else?
I mean, I'm just saying, because what happens is, you know, we get in these relationships, and like you said, the lady said the person had her in a friend zone
for months.
Like months. First of all, ladies and men, we need to know our worth. So my question to that individual: why were you hanging around for months when you knew you were looking for something a little bit more serious than a friend? Hello,
right? And I know,
you know?
Hey, Tasha, you know, we know some of the women online, and sometimes you get in that space that nobody has hollered at you for a while. Nobody has looked your way for a while. So now you feeling maybe you feeling like you don't have value, you don't have worth. You getting that little desperation zone, and that so that anybody that comes along, just because they want to spend time with you, watching TV, going on, running with you, and things like that.
Right.
And they telling you just be patient. If it's months going by, then that person probably is just looking for a friend. Yeah.
Right. And that goes back to, we have to know what we want and set our expectations. Like, it's okay if that person want to continue to be friends, but even if you have that conversation, sometimes for whatever reason, it get misconstrued, right? Yeah. And you've told the person what you want, what you look for, and everybody's on the same page, it's all good. And then, like the lady in the Facebook group, maybe she did that. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. And then the person just kind of strung her along. But we have to know, like, when enough is enough. Like, when you're tired of being sick and tired, or when you just know your value and you said, okay, I told this individual XYZ, we said XYZ, and so it's been months. Like, don't give the person like all your good months, all your good years. Like, stop wasting your time on these people that's not, going in the same direction that you're going on when it comes to relationship. Now, again, if you're just looking for some fun, y'all on the same page, okay, everybody grown, that's your business. Everybody on the same page, so it's all good. But just be real with yourself and be real with the person.
Yeah. That's it, Tasha. And how about when, okay, you kind of moving past the friendship space. Okay. They said we're moving past the friendship space. How do you know when it's true love or when it's just U-Haul love? And y'all ladies know what I'm talking about on the U-Haul love. U-Haul love versus true love. Is there a certain period of time that you have to date someone before you can consider yourself getting serious? Maybe you moving in, getting married, so on and so forth,
So here's what I'll say. I've experienced both, okay? But I think it just depends on the individual and what those two people have discussed and what they're looking for. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you do meet that someone and everything is fast and furious, move in, relationship, married, whatever, get a house.
And it's good. Okay.
Because I do believe everyone has a soulmate. Mm-hmm. So, but sometimes, again, like we're in a space, like Seymone said, where we just feeling crunchy or feeling like it's been a minute or whatever the case is. And the first person that comes along that show us a little tension,
we ready.
Feel like they into us. We ready to
U-Haul. We are packing up the U-Haul.
Move in.
Yo, why is Tasha laughing at that? Why is she laughing at that? Tasha, tell them how long we were together before we moved in.
Been that person, you guys.
How long, Tasha? How long?
It was quick.
I think it was 3 weeks, y'all.
It wasn't a month.
It was 3 weeks. Don't try this at home, y'all. Don't try it at home. You got to be sure.
But that's why I can laugh, because I've been there, on both sides of the fence where it didn't go well, you know what I mean? And then it did go well. So that's why I'm laughing, you guys. I can definitely relate, and I'm sure some of you guys can too. But you just got to know what you want. And once you go through a bunch of bad apples,
But once you find a good apple, you find a good person, it's not going to be perfect. And I was talking to a friend today, and I was telling her, okay, you got to stop running from relationships. That's how I used to be, huh? I used to be slippery.
Slippery, that's Simone's word.
But you got to start run. If you know you have a good person, but you know yourself and you know that you always run at the first sign of trouble, you got to stop running from relationships and you got to give it a chance. Nobody is perfect. You're not perfect. You're going to go through some ups and downs, but that's life.
Yes.
You want a long-term relationship with somebody. It's not going to be pie in the sky.
No.
It's going to be work. You got to work at communicating. You got to make some compromises.
But that's what a relationship is, like a real relationship.
Yep.
I mean, it's about compromise and loving that person, all of them, like through all their faults and their quirks, you know, and the little things that drive you crazy. Like that's what a relationship is, like a real one. If you're really serious about that person and you in it to win it, that's what it is.
That's what it is, y'all. We see y'all here on the live, and this is a live taping of our podcast. So we're not able to answer your comments, but once we finish, we will answer the comments.
Absolutely, we will get to the comments.
So y'all come to YouTube, like, subscribe, make a comment, and set the notification bell, because every Tuesdays and Thursdays we drop new episodes
at 3:00.
Right. So today we talked about what tonight.
So we talked about how to move on from a relationship, heal, and be able to recognize that individual or that right love that you're looking for.
Yes. How to move on. Get healthy, y'all. Get healthy
in all areas of your life, because that's important. We didn't mention that, Seymone. When you're looking for a relationship, that means you got to be healthy in all areas in your life. That's important. So that again goes to the person being on the same page, because a healthy relationship do consist of a healthy mind, body, and spirit.
Right. Emotionally, physically,
yes,
mentally healthy. And I know y'all see Tasha has the NutriBurst up here that we talked about before. Tasha, tell them about the NutriBurst and the tea.
Yes, so the NutriBurst, if you guys can see it here, it is a multi-liquid vitamin, and it's like eating 10 salads. I don't even eat 10 salads. You see?
That's a lot.
That's a lot of salads, you guys. And then, of course, we have our watermelon cleanse tea, and it comes in watermelon, tropical punch, and what's the one that you like too, Seymone?
Tamarindo.
And then it comes in original. So that is going to clean your gut, get your stomach flat, get all those toxins out of your body. Yeah, and send you to a good, bathroom experience.
And then y'all know that sometimes when you're coming out of something, you just need to cleanse. You need to,
absolutely.
Like I talked about, get all that energy off. You get all that.
Exactly. So cleansing
from where you
yes. So that will be in the inside your body, that cleanse, and then break out the sage and the Palo Santos, and
see, we got our sage,
all the things to cleanse from that individual. So that means you're cleaning from the inside out as well. That's something we need to incorporate when moving from these different relationships as well.
All right, y'all. This has been the live relationship talk. Tasha, up top right here. Tasha and I are going to be, one thing I mentioned to a friend is that Tasha and I are going to be celebrating 10 years this year, y'all. 10 years, y'all. Yes, y'all. 10 years, 10 years, and it hasn't been perfect.
It has not.
It has not been perfect. I am slippery, not in a negative way, but in a way like, things might be tough, and in my mind, I might be thinking, okay, I'm leaving today.
She ain't going nowhere, y'all.
Get out of here.
She ain't going nowhere.
But nope, I'm not going anywhere, y'all. That's what I'm trying to tell you. When you find a good person, I tell everybody this in my life, you find a good person, you hold on and you work through it.
Absolutely. Yep.
We're not telling you to stay in abusive relationships. That's not a good person.
No, that's not.
We're not telling you to stay in relationships where somebody is emotionally wearing on you and mentally wearing on you. That's not a good person. Or that's not a good person, y'all.
Right.
A good person is a person that treats you like the queen, and maybe we got some kings here.
Right.
And the king that you're supposed to be treated like, they treat you like a king and a queen, y'all.
Absolutely.
I get coffee every morning. I get dinner every night, y'all. I don't have to cook. I would cook, but Tasha won't let me. Okay. So that's it. Don't say I'm taking advantage. Tasha doesn't want me in the kitchen. That's it, y'all. So you find you a good person, and there's that balance,
Absolutely.
Maybe there are things that I do that I'm going to take charge of, and let Tasha do her cooking. But y'all know she's the vegan diva for life, and she's coming out with some cookbooks. And what else she coming out with, Eva?
Yeah, so I will be releasing a new ebook, you guys, and it'll be on how to go vegan.
All right. That's what we're going to be doing. And I'm going to be releasing a course on how to find your soulmate, how to attract your soulmate, y'all.
That's going to be good.
About attracting your soulmate. Y'all keep us in, we'll keep you in the loop. Look in our Look at our Instagram and Facebook for links when we post it with the new offerings we're going to be having, y'all.
Right.
All right. We love you guys. And like they say, it's nothing you can do about it. It's nothing you can do.
We love y'all for real. Y'all have a good night.
Have a good night, everyone.